Hello, everybody. I'm Paul Henry, and we're here today with a very special guest and a real good friend of mine, Coach Louis Thompson. Some of you may not know that after a real successful career in athletic and education, Coach T is retiring after his 2012-2013 school year from Lincoln County High School, and he spent 44 years in education. Coach T, appreciate you, buddy, and appreciate you sitting down a few minutes and talking with us.
Thank Paul.
You've had a remarkably successful career. To me, it's almost would be second to none as far as, especially for a little boy coming from Lebanon, Tennessee. A few of his accolades, and these are just what basically has transpired while he was at Lincoln County High School. Coach T spent 22 years as the head coach of Falcon football. He came to Lincoln County in 1989. While there, he led the Falcons to state championships in 1990 and 1993 and took his teams to the playoff 20 out of the 22 years that he was the head coach. And he won the Lions Bowl back during the bowl game days. Now, you've expressed to me before you like that bowl scenario when it existed as part of the TSSAA and the playoffs. Is that right?
Yes, I do, and I really don't see why the TSSAA went away from the bowl games. I know it used to be if you won the district, you got to go to the playoffs. And then I think the money situation got them. They started putting two teams in the playoffs. And I know in about 83, 84, they added the third team, started cutting out some of the bowls. There used to be some pretty big bowl games. I mean,
Sure.
like the Tobacco Bowl, the Butter Bowl. I think back when it was Fayetteville High School.
Right.
Back in the day, they played in the Butter Bowl. The Clinic Bowl was big in Nashville. Matter of fact, I played in three. I played in the Lions Bowl at Watertown, played in the Tobacco Bowl at Sparta, and then played in the Industrial Bowl against Fayetteville in 1962. So
Who won that game?
I think Lebanon beat Fayetteville 12-0 in that game.
Uh-oh.
And but anyway, I really look forward to that because you could be 7-3, 6-4, and have a pretty good team, and then you could finish your season off with a win in a bowl game. Now they take the top four teams out of the district, and they don't have any bowl games. They got some for the junior highs, I think.
Well, you kind of felt like those kids earned that opportunity to go play in a bowl.
That's true. I know in '89 we went to the Lions Bowl, and great experience. Went over at Tullahoma Lions Club, did a great job. Had a great banquet, great game against Overton. We beat them 14-6, and we ended the season on a winning note. And I think it led into the next year when we had a great team coming back.
Sure. Okay, to continue on, folks, he served as president of the Tennessee Athletic Coaches Association in 1990. He was the head coach of the Tennessee-Kentucky All-Star Game in 1991. In 2003, he was assistant coach for the East-West Shrine Bowl All-Star Classic, and that was the same year he took over as athletic director at Lincoln County High School. In 2005, he was inducted into the TSSAA Hall of Fame. And in 2011, Coach T handed off the head coach's whistle to Coach Don Thomas. And that same year, the Falcons' home turf that had been known for years as the Pit officially became Meadows Thompson Stadium. And that was the year also he was inducted into the Falcon Football Hall of Fame. Coach, you just had a real blessed career.
Well, I have. I've thought about it since I've retired, actually, and I've been very fortunate. And I mean this from my heart too. I've had a chance to be around some great athletes.
Sure.
And we'll probably name some of those later on, and not only here but other places. I've had great association with some good people that were coaches, assistant coaches. The head coach is only as good as his assistant coaches and players a lot of times. Plus, people like yourself, you and I know Don Gill used to be here. Neil used to be the sports writer. So, sports writers can really do a good job keeping people off of coaches,
I appreciate
off their case a lot of times. Good administration, and a great community. And Lincoln County, I've been in 4 other places, and Lincoln County has the greatest fan support that I've been around. So, you know, I've been very fortunate to be, as the old saying is, in the right place at the right time with the right people. And, you know, it's been great. And I hadn't done it by myself. There's been a lot of people that's been around me.
I understand.
You know, my family. And I've got a great wife. My wife Peggy. She's like an assistant coach a lot of times, and she has a lot of comments about some of those things that's happened in the past too. But you know, I've been very fortunate.
Well, I know, just as kind of being a friend and you a friend of the family for so many years, there's three choices that I know you've made that I would have to go along. You're absolutely winners on. Now, chronologically, it may not be correct, but one of the better ones to me is when you married Peggy McDonald.
Probably so. That's probably number one.
Yeah, let's put that one at the first and foremost. But Miss Peggy, she's a Falcon fan throughout, and she's represented behind the scenes Lincoln County High School and everything very, very well. Back to the point of when she used to carve the Falcon pumpkins out on the front porch at Halloween, that type thing. She's been a remarkable lady. I've got to commend you there. Now, you guys have been married 46 years.
46 years, and actually I'm about 23 because half that time I've been out coaching. No, I tell people that, kidding around, but been 46 great years, and I don't know whether I can make 46 more, but I'm looking for a lot more. But she has been a very good partner, you know, and she's a Falcon through and through. I mean, she lives and dies. You can tell back in the days when we didn't win quite a bit, boy, she was right there. And when we'd lose a game or two, you know, she'd be in the dumps just like me for 4 or 5 days. But she's really been a very good one to have around.
Now, your children were Angie, Taylor, and Jay. And of course, they've all gone on and grown up and got their own lives going. Peggy going to be a golf widow now these days?
Unfortunately, she has been in the last month or so. Probably, I do like to play golf. Not very good. One of those people that enjoys the game. I don't claim to be a great golfer, but I enjoy going out. It's a good way to get some exercise. People, you know, even though riding that cart, you got to get out and you got to move around. And hopefully I'll be able to play for a long time. I enjoy watching golf on TV and enjoy playing it.
Good. Coach Herman Harden, one of your biggest rivals.
Coach Harden, he is a great competitor. As you can tell, if you've watched him on the sidelines, in the gym at our basketball games, he's a great competitor. He's the same way on the golf course. We've had some heated battles out there. It's a lot of fun, and he'll win, I'll win. A lot of trash talking, and it's just, you know, great with two good friends, and we enjoy it.
Wonderful. Okay, second, and this may be a touchy subject to a lot of people who bleed orange, but you graduated from Lebanon High School, and you chose to go play for the University of Alabama under Coach Paul Bryant. And I understand there was a decision whether you were going to be crimson or orange, like almost up to the last moment. Can you kind of fill us in on a little bit of that?
Well, I was an average high school football player. I really mean that. And we had this other guy named Henry Harding that was a very good player, and he played defensive end on the other side from me. And we were playing Lafayette. And I was the left defensive end, he was right defensive end. Well, just that night, they would not run towards his side. And evidently, I had the worst tight end that I'd ever lined up on because I made about 16 or 17 tackles that night. They kept running, and out of self-defense, I had to make some plays because they ran everything towards me.
Okay.
And so Coach Hennessy, was assistant coach from Alabama, was there that night. So in the dressing room after the game, I was a junior. Coach Hennessy, somebody said, Coach, or somebody wants to see you outside. So I went outside, and it was Coach Hennessy, and he said that he had come to watch the other defensive end, but he got confused whether it was the right one or not. So anyway, he saw me, and they started recruiting me. Well, being from Tennessee, and this is really going to kill me with all my Tennessee people. I was a diehard Tennessee fan at that time in high school, and that's where I wanted to go and everything. Well, Alabama kept recruiting me, and right up during the season, I went to visit at Tennessee 2 or 3 times, went to Alabama a couple times, and went to Kentucky, and I really liked Kentucky. I liked Coach Bradshaw. Charlie Bradshaw was up there at the time, and I really liked him. And anyway, it came down, signing date was on Saturday. Tennessee had come in to see me at like 2 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. And Coach Hennessy came in about 6 o'clock and saw me. And Coach Moore from Kentucky came in later on that night. So Friday, I was going to Tennessee on Friday. Friday afternoon, Coach Hennessy came back to see me. And he talked to me, talked to me, and talked to me. And so I went and spent the night with one of my buddies. Got up the next day, and he asked me, he said, "Where are you going?" He was a Tennessee fan. And I said, "I think I'm going to Alabama." So I made my decision that morning of signing date. Coach Hennessy was supposed to be at my house at 8 o'clock, and Coach Majors was supposed to be at my house at 9 o'clock. And so I went ahead and signed with Alabama. Coach Majors came in, and I told him that I was going to Alabama. So.
You didn't have a cell phone back in to call him and tell him not to come?
Not at all. We didn't even have a phone back then, let alone a cell phone.
Well, folks, he made the right choice. He played on 2 national championship teams for Coach Bryant, 64 and 65.
65, right.
Is that correct? So whether you're orange or crimson, you can't argue with the end results, you know. What did you weigh when you played?
Well, I went there. I weighed like 210.
Okay.
And I was.
And you played in the line.
Well, I was a fullback in high school, fullback and defensive end in high school.
Okay.
And I ended up being a defensive tackle in college. So,
okay.
Coach Bryant would take players that were running back. Jerry Duncan, famous Jerry Duncan, tackle eligible player, was a halfback in high school. He was an offensive tackle at Alabama. So Coach Bryant took those small guys that could run and would move them in different positions and play. You know, I think Joe Namath and Stabler and all those were probably quarterbacks in high school.
And did he make it himself? Did he make Alabama football?
But Coach Bryant had a thing about him. He could really he paid attention to the smallest detail. One thing that always stood out with me, we were playing my junior year. It was 120 degrees in Tuscaloosa. It had to be. I thought I was going to die. I thought I was somewhere else instead of Tuscaloosa.
I understand.
And we were out there on that practice field. Hey, Coach Bryant told the manager to bring a 5-gallon bucket out there filled with water. And we were getting ready to play Ole Miss or Tulane or somebody on Saturday, and this was like Wednesday. And I mean, it was hot and everything else. So he told the manager to bring out a 5-gallon bucket of water. Came out there, took 4 or 5 footballs and stuck it down in the water. The quarterbacks had to take snaps. So, and guess what it did Saturday night? It rained. You know, so Coach Bryant had already looked at the weather report. He thought it was going to rain, so he made the quarterbacks practice taking a snap with a wet football. He just paid attention to little things like that. Plus, he was pretty tough. He was a tough individual. He demanded a lot out of you, and you know, I still respect him to this day. Probably wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for somebody like him that you know, that took a bunch of guys and kept them in the right direction. And we were pretty good back during those days. You know, they can talk about it, Coach Saban and all those guys and everything, and they're a lot better than we were today, I'm sure. But we were pretty good back in the day, and we didn't have all the stuff that they've got today with the video and the weight equipment and all that stuff. So, you know, I don't think you can compare the two, but I still think Coach Bryant was one of those type of people. He could take a great compliment. I think Duffy Doherty, that used to be at Michigan State, said that Coach Bryant could take his and beat yours, or he could take yours and beat his. You know, he was definitely the difference. You know, in a lot of those football games.
I know in today's media frenzy, signing day, particularly at a big-time college level in the SEC, it's an event. It's what I would call a dog and pony show in itself. What was it like that day when you signed at the University of Alabama?
My mom and dad, Coach Hennessy, and me. That was it, at my kitchen table. And Hurricane, Tennessee. I sat there and signed the scholarship. And Coach Hennessy took it, and they sent me a confirmation about 2 weeks later from the University of Alabama that they'd received a scholarship for the university. And I have it. Matter of fact, on the wall over there, I have a copy of my scholarship that was signed that day by Coach Bryant and Coach Hennessy, and that was all it was. And one picture, I do have a picture.
You do have a picture of it?
Yes, I do.
That's good. It's probably in black and white.
Oh, yes, it was. Believe me.
Okay, choice number 3, folks. Okay, you coach high school ball at Dadeville, Lebanon. You went up to Austin Peay State University and coached. Went to Unicor County. And then you made the choice to come to Lincoln County High School. Now, I know one thing that you were quoted in saying, and it's in the media guide at Falcon Football, and it says, I was very fortunate to come into a program that has the tradition of Falcon football. Coach John Meadows started it. I was given the opportunity to continue that. It was tough coming into a winning program where the expectations are so high, but I made the right choice when I came to Lincoln County High School.
Well, that's true. I'd been in 4 other programs that, they were good programs at some point, and I'd gone into Unicor County right before I came here. They'd been down a little bit, and there's not too much pressure when you take over for a team that's been 1-29, and then you win 2 or 3 games.
Right.
It's not any pressure on you. So I know that I went to the '88 state championship game. Okay. I walked in Vandy Stadium. I walked up the ramp, and the first person I ran to was Coach John Meadows. He was standing up there watching Dixon County and Oakland warm up, and I had kept up with Coach Meadows because I'd known him for a long time.
Okay.
And so I knew he'd gotten beat by Oakland the week before. And I said, Coach, how you doing? And he said, fine, and I said, congratulations on a great season, and I said, you should probably be here and all that. You know how coaches are.
Right.
Anyway, he said, you interested in coming back towards Middle Tennessee? And I said, why? He said, because I'm going to retire Monday. And I said, Coach, you're not going to? He said, yes, I am. So that weekend after the game, I went back to Unicor County, which is a pretty good distance from me.
Sure.
And I got to thinking about it. Well, Monday morning I got up, and I looked up the number, and I called, and sure enough, Coach Meadows had just walked in and had resigned. And so I talked to my wife. I was very happy at Unicor County up in East Tennessee. And so I made a couple of phone calls. Called Mr. Haynes, who was principal at the time. He said, yes, we do have an opening. So I put in an application, came down and interviewed. And after I came down and looked at it, I knew that it was a pretty good program.
Sure.
82 state champs, gone to semifinals in '88. And, Coach Meadows had done a great job. It wasn't like the couple programs I'd been in that, been losers. You win 2 or 3 and they not own you too bad. So anyway, interviewed, got the job finally. And I know first year, and I'll tell this story too because some of them are my good friends now. We opened up and we got, you know how people are with new things, and they're all excited and they pat you on the back and all that stuff. So we go through spring practice, go through fall practice. We're going to be okay. People ask me how we're going to be, and I said we're going to be fine. Of course, they'd gone to semifinals the year before, so in '88.
Right.
So this is '89. So we line up. We play Franklin County first game. We got 500 yards of offense, get beat 21-7. So everybody, how they are. That's all right, Coach. Said, you'll get them. So the next week we'll go to Shelby.
Okay.
We'll go up there. We'll get beat 22-21. We've already lost 2 games.
Yep.
They hadn't lost 2 games the last 2 or 3 years here.
Sure.
And a whole big crowd of people standing on the sidelines over there or outside the fence. And I remember walking off the field, my second game, and what I was thinking about was playing Lebanon the next week. Mm-hmm. And they were, at the time, they were ranked number 1 in the state, AAA. So I'm walking off the field, and I got my own head down. Something Coach Bryant wouldn't have been proud of me. He said, always keep your head up. Anyway, I was walking off, I was looking down, and I was thinking to myself, I said, my word, we're 0-2. They went to the state semifinals last year. I heard somebody say, said, I wonder if he knows if that bus will go back to East Tennessee or not. You know? And I had to fight it, but I had to cut my eyes over to see who it was. And like I said, now some of them are friends now, but they were over there. But anyway, from that point on, you know, we hung in there, and we ended up, I think, going 7-4 that first year. We did go to Lebanon, won that next game, took a little heat off.
Yeah.
But you know, the fan support and everything. I know in the '80s and the '90s, I remember pulling out. We're going to Vandy to play Germantown in '90, and out in Petersburg, out there was a big sign that said "Last one out of town, turn off the lights." You know, we were going, and we had probably, I don't know, 7,000 or 8,000 people up at Vandy. You know, we had played Knox Central the week before in Knoxville in Neyland Stadium, and had a huge crowd of people there. Went to Prattville during the regular season, probably carried 1,000, 1,500 down to Prattville. So you know, it was a very good move, the third choice, and you know, as it went on, very fortunate, as I said, had some great players. And you know, I hate to name players.
I understand.
You're going to leave somebody out.
22 years.
Yeah, 22 years. There was a lot of great players. You know, we had a few that went on to the pros. Kelly Holcomb, I guess, you know, was the most notable because of that. But you know, we had some other great players. Theo Harks, one that, you know, made it to the pros. Lamar Devins, 2003, made it. David Grogan. You know, Chad Henderson, some of those. We had a lot of kids that played, but I had a lot of coaches that did a lot of good things too. You know, we had Ron Perrin, Jack Araby, Keith Van Hooser, and Alvin Palmer when I first came here, and all of them went different directions. You know, Alvin went on to become my head coach. Ron went into administration. Coach Van Hooser went on. Coach Araby went to take the head coach at Unity and then retired. And then after that, had some other great coaches. Don McNeese, Don Thomas. You know, just I can name off a whole bunch of them. Steve Edgens, you know, that was here with Coach Mattis and left. I got him back, and you know, just had some great coaches through the years. Great kids, great fans, as I said, great administration. Just everybody, it all kind of just, as Coach Bryant say, everything just kind of fell in place. And you know, I've been very fortunate to be part of it. And you know, it was kind of sad to retire from it, but you know, I thought it was time to go. And you know, turned over to Coach Thomas, who played here. Was a great player. You know, All-State, went to middle, was an All-American there. Has done a great job at Laverne, Marshall County, and he will do a great job here. You know, I know our season the last couple of years haven't been what we wanted, but they're working very hard at it, and I think they will get a lot better.
Okay. Well, good. Now, as long as you've been in it, not to talk about your age or anything. I mean, in education, football field, class, everything, you've seen a substantial amount of changes. What really stands out? I mean, to me, athletically, a big-time high school player now is probably as strong as what an OVC player was. Speed, quickness, everything back 30 or 40 years ago. But in your eyes firsthand, what do you see as some of the bigger changes in education and athletics as well?
Well, I think in athletics, the players are bigger and stronger, and I think the technology has really, you know, changed it with the way they do films. Let me go this part. Back in the day, we used to do a 8mm or 16mm film, and we'd have to send it off, get it processed, and it'd take like a day and a half or 2 days to get the film back. And then they went to videotape, those big like this. You know, VHS tapes. So we went to that. Now, and then they went to little disc, DVD, and that's what they're doing now. And they put them online, and after the game, you go put them in a computer and send them, and you can trade films. Where I used to have to get up at 5 or 6 o'clock on Saturday morning, drive to Shelbyville, Franklin County, Columbia to trade films. Now they just do them on computers. So I think technology in that part. Weight rooms, you know, colleges, all these kids go and they see these big multi-million-dollar weight rooms, And even at Lincoln County High School, we have a great weight room
Right.
there. So they have no excuses about getting stronger and everything else. And I think that's changed in the football part. You know, as far as kids working and stuff, I don't know, you know, they still have to work, but I don't think they work as much as they did back in my time.
Right.
We used to have to work on the farm or things like that and then go play football. Now, they don't have to do that.
In that day, getting to go to practice gave you a break.
Yeah, from work.
From work.
That's true. You know, now they don't have to do that so much. And, you know, I think it's changed that way. You know, in education, I think it's just gotten better. I think, you know, the teachers have gotten better and, you know, everybody, the money situation and, you know, you have to pay raises for the teachers, and you know you got to recruit them, and you just have to keep on working at it. You know, in that respect, they allot so much money, and then they expect your scores to, you know, and they give you guidelines, benchmarks that you have to, you know, maintain to get the money from the state. And you know, it's a struggle all the time. Administrators, I mean, you really have to stay on the teachers to. You have to have good teachers to teach, and you know it's a struggle all the time. The testing has really changed. It used to be, what was it, the 3 R's: reading, writing, arithmetic. Yeah, and now you know I have to worry about those test scores. And they even start down in, I think, the elementary school.
Now instead of writing, you're teaching keyboarding.
Oh yeah, keyboarding. Oh yeah, I don't think anybody writes anymore. That's one of the big deals. Is, you know, there's computers everywhere. As I said earlier, technology has really changed a lot. You can get a lot of stuff offline, and which is good. You don't have to go through. I don't guess there's any more encyclopedia salesmen.
No. I think Encyclopedia Britannica's been out of business a few years.
Probably,
what I
you know.
understand.
But I think that's improved, and you know, people take advantage of it. Education should be better today.
Okay. Well, Coach, appreciate you talking with us today. You got the microphone here for a few minutes just to close out however you choose to.
Well, I just think it's been a great career here. As I said earlier, a lot of great people. And when you start naming people, you know, you always leave out somebody. But it's just, I'm just including the whole community of Lincoln County and everybody that's been associated with me, with Lincoln County High School, with Lincoln County Falcon football over the years. It's been great. I've enjoyed every minute of it. Well, I take it back, haven't enjoyed every minute of it. You know, some of those losses, especially a couple to Oakland and Riverdale, I didn't necessarily like. But it's been a great ride, and I enjoy it, and I really appreciate it. And thank you.
Well, we're here today to talk a little bit about Louis Thompson, a legend, a Hall of Fame coach, Hall of Fame athletic director, and a staple at Lincoln County High School for 20 plus years. He's been tremendous for the community, tremendous for athletes and players and the student body. He's done a great job. He's been a great leader, a great mentor, and I really appreciate everything that Coach T did for me. You know, I remember all the way back to the first day that we met. I had a flat tire, and he asked me if I needed any help. And it was about 100 degrees out, and I didn't say no in the nicest way, but I didn't need any help that day. So the next day he came back and asked if I needed a job, and I said yes in a much nicer way, and was really appreciative of that gentleman for helping me right out of college. And he's been a great mentor to me throughout those years and now. And you know, he still tries to beat me at golf, and still works very hard at that. And it's just fun to be around him. He's a great guy. Like I said, he's great for our community. And I don't think we can replace him. We can only get other people to do some of the jobs he did. But all the jobs that he did can't be done by one person. He is a great man, and he's good for us, and I am so thankful to be a part of his life and that he's part of mine. And I appreciate you, Coach D. Go Falcons.
Coach Thompson, I want to take this time to thank you for your years of dedication here at Lincoln County and Lincoln County High School, the athletic department, and in the education system. I can remember the first time that I met you was in probably 1989. You had just come off the field from chalking it, and that year I believe we went ahead and won the Lions Bowl in Tullahoma. The next year, 1990, state championship. 1993, another state championship, and countless other number of appearances in the playoff. It was a great experience for Falcon football. We hope you enjoy and congratulate you on your retirement, and always go Falcons.
Hello, Coach. Well, it's been 22 years since we've been coaching together. I appreciate everything you've done for me. One thing that sticks out of my head is that you always had a way of making a point. And we were at Baylor camp, and we were scrimmaging on Saturday like we always do. And our signature play was twins over 38, and we got twins over. And a young official was out there, and he threw a flag, and you went up there and contested, said, "What's the flag for?" And he said, "Illegal formation." And we ended up running the play 8 times in a row to make a point to that guy that we weren't in an illegal formation. And then Coach Brewer came up and said, "Coach, do you mind quit running that play, because we can't stop it?" So, you know, you always had a good way of making a point, whether to an official, whether to a coach, whether to a player. I just really appreciate everything that you've done for me and Lincoln County High School. Appreciate you, Coach. And your signature saying is, "Go Falcons."
Louis, it's been a privilege over the last several years to be able to come and do the radio broadcast of the Falcon football games. But not only that, it's been a privilege being your friend over the last several years. We're going to look forward to your retirement. Hope that you enjoy it and hope that you have a great time. And again, we're looking forward to the upcoming Falcon games, but you'll be well missed.
I'd like to echo what Jack said, Coach. I've enjoyed more than anything being your friend and the good job you've done while you're here, all the success you brought Lincoln County. And you're really going to be sorely missed for sure, but I'm sure we'll see you around the games and maybe even see you with us some.
And Coach Louis, over the years you've brought so much great entertainment to the fans here at Lincoln County, and throughout the years we've had some exciting ball games here in the pit and away games, and of course all of our playoff runs. And we just want to say a big thank you to all that you've done, and especially in the athletic department, not only football but other facets of that, and of course the education system here. And I'm pretty sure you're going to be missed traffic control out there when the school gets out each and every day. And Coach, throughout the years, Donnie and I have broadcast the radio games. I don't think we've ever questioned any of the play calling that you guys had.
Well, at least not over the air anyway.
And Coach, we appreciate all the cooperation throughout the years with the Falcon Huddle and Coach's Coffee, and your willingness to take the interviews, sometimes hard interviews. And matter of fact, Donnie, it was kind of hard to get the microwave. It was kind of hard to get the microphone away from Coach Thompson.
Yeah, sometimes we'd have to just take the microphone away from him, telling him we had to go to a break, but you've done a very good job.
Coach, again, we want to say a big thank you, and go Falcons.
Go Falcons.
Well, Louis, I'd like to say congratulations. You finally retired after several years of telling me you were going to, but you finally did it. Just don't spend too much time on that golf course, okay? You're getting too good. The things I can remember the most is not all the football and all the practices, but it's those road trips we took in that old van. And I just want to remind you, especially a couple of things. One, especially the time we went to Baylor camp, and I was driving that van, and you were right there beside me, and we was pulling this trailer, and we started down Mont Eagle Mountain. And buddy, I didn't think we was going to make it to the bottom. I'm sure you're going to remember that for a while. And another one of my favorites is that time we went over to Dixon County on a Friday night, and we got just almost into Dixon, and these clouds started building, and me and you both decided that the clouds were going to take over. And about the time we got into Dixon, that cloud was right over their football field, and it come a monsoon. So we had to cancel. Well, knowing Louis like I do, we get up Saturday morning and we go back to Dixon. So we made 2 trips to Dixon just to play 1 scrimmage. And that was one I'm going to remember for a while. But the van trips, they were very interesting. I found out just about everything there is to know about you on those trips, and I'm going to keep most of those to myself. But once more, oh, by the way, we've got a high sky out here today. Be a great day for practice. So again, congratulations. You did a fantastic job, and I enjoyed just about every minute I spent with you. Go Falcons.
Coach Thompson here at Lincoln County he's just a legend. The things that he's done here outside of on the football field over there is just amazing. He's been a fantastic athletic director here at Lincoln County High School, and I think every sport here would agree to that. He's a legend, like I said, in these parts, and everybody loves him. And we'll definitely hate to see him go. I really hate to see him go, but I know he's not going to be a stranger. He's going to stay around here, and we'll see him all the time, I hope. I'm sure Miss Peggy will make sure he's out of the house some, so we definitely know he won't be a stranger. But just personally for me, I think Coach Thompson meant a lot. I didn't get to play for him on the field, but just a great person, a great role model. Anybody that came through Lincoln County High School, or even guys that played against him in high school and when he was playing with Alabama, would definitely say that he's a role model and one to look up to. I think you look at some of the kids here that have played for him, they'll never forget him. Guys that went on and played in the NFL, or guys that took their last snap of football out here, they'll never forget him. And he's a legend, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the future has in store for him. And I guess one of the biggest things that I need to say about Coach Thompson is getting to work with him, especially during the basketball games. We bugged him a lot and interviewed him a lot, and some of the best interviews that I did with him were during basketball games, and he's just a fabulous interview. And one thing that I guess he's going to laugh at this when he sees it, but he's a great movie review guy, so you'll have to ask him about that. I can't go into details, but he loves movies. There's one in particular that he would love to tell you about. I think if Coach Thompson was standing right here beside me, there'd be three things that he would definitely say, and I think probably most of you know what they would be. Number one would be, beat Riverdale. And number two would be, roll Tide. And number three, go Falcons.
Coach T, Coach Louis Thompson. Been 19 years with Coach Thompson here at Lincoln County High School. He was my head coach when I come back, and I've been under him for 17 years. He's a mentor, not only a great AD, but also as a football coach. And he's taken a lot of us under his wings, and not only been a great coach and like a second dad to a lot of us. Thank you, Coach, for all the great years. Hope you enjoy your retirement and all the golf. And like I said, you've been a mentor to all of us, and like a second dad to everybody. And go Falcons.
Coach, I want to wish you well in your retirement. I got a few memories for you. My wife and I moved here in '86, and I remember you lost the first two football games that you coached, and you made the comment that nobody said a word to you. And you were talking about it in a positive vein, but I think nobody said anything to you because they were still trying to figure out what was going on. And I think the next week we beat the #1 team in the state, so that kind of got everybody's attention. 1990 state team, we traveled all over the state watching you play. 92 and 93, I had the front row seat. I was helping Claire Telford film, and in 93, I've got the newspaper article here on my desk. In 1993, when we won the state title, because I had the press pass, I got to be on the field with you after the game, and that was a special memory. The things that you have done for the kids through the years are the things that we will miss. My kids learned a lot from you, and I think a lot of people miss all the stuff that you did as an athletic director. All the gate money you took up at softball and baseball and basketball games, and the different things that you did to make our school and make our kids better. I know you had many nice offers, especially from the Murfreesboro area over the years, to leave. And I can only tell you that I sincerely appreciate you staying. The shirt I wear today is two things near to you. This is about as near as I'm going to get to wearing crimson. But it does have a Masters flag on it. And at the rate you're going to be playing in the Masters, because I know you're playing golf every day. I've also put on my desk here, I've got a scorecard from Pebble Beach last year where one of your playing partners shot 79. And
Hope one of your playing partners or yourself can shoot 79 on about August 2nd of this year when we play Whistling Straits. But in closing, Coach, thanks for all the great memories, and thank you for the great friendship that you and I have developed, and for all the fun we plan to have in the coming years. And one last thing, go Falcons.
Coach T, Coach Harden here. Just wanted to express to you my appreciation for everything that you've done. When I came here 10 years ago, had heard about you but didn't know you at all. You were just an administrator and an athletic director and a great football coach from everything that I'd heard. Over the years, that's become a lot more than that. You are all those things. You were very supportive of us and our programs and all the programs here. But over the years, you've become a great friend, and I've learned a lot from you. I've enjoyed being around you. I've enjoyed winning Snickers from you and with you. That ought to get you a big laugh. That's Doc B's there, by the way. But we're going to miss you, and I'm going to miss you greatly up here. To the interaction that we got to have each day, always having someone that I could go into and talk to, whether it's about football, whether it's about basketball, whether it's just about anything to do with the school. It's really good. And you, for someone close to the same age, you were a great and are a great mentor to me, besides being a peer and a friend. So I do appreciate everything that you've done. I'm going to be very jealous when I'm getting all these pictures from all these golf courses that you're going to be playing at. But I've enjoyed all the 10 years that I've known you, but I look for us to be playing a lot of golf and things together. Go Falcons.
Hey, Coach T.
Hey, Coach.
We're here being interviewed for your going away film or whatever. And I had two things. First of all, it's about the antagonist role that you play whenever I'm playing with my partner against you and whoever. I never really knew you were an agitator like you are, but it's always, Blade said he was gonna, give it to us, or Herman's always hungry for a Snickers and he's gonna give it to us. He can't wait to get that Snickers. You just agitate a lot, and I never knew you to be an agitator until the last year or so. But I've enjoyed it. You do a real good job at it. And the other thing is I hate that shoulder surgery got you to where you can't swing so hard. I think you're gonna break your other shoulder if you don't watch out. You know what I'm saying? I've enjoyed watching you and being your friend, and you've been a great friend to me, and I hope we get to kill a lot more deer and play a lot more golf in the coming years.
And I just want to say how much I've enjoyed the years when you were head coach and AD, and we had so much fun going to all those games, especially those 2 years where you won the state championship. Those are memories I will never forget, and I just want to say I hope you have a great retirement, and I know you've got a great wife there, already retired, so try not to bug her too much. And go Falcons.
And I want to say go Falcons and go retirement.
Appreciate everything Coach Thompson's done for the high school, the community, me personally, my family. He's been a pleasure to work with, learned a lot from him. He supported me in a lot of ways, and I really appreciate that. A lot of things people don't realize about him. Everybody knows, how good of a football player he was and how good of a football coach he was and how successful he's been in those areas. But I think a lot of people don't understand his impact on the school through administration and the impact on the other sports here at the high school. He's a class act, very humble, very hardworking. And like I said, I've learned a lot from him, Coach T. Go Falcons.
Let's get rowdy. Go Falcons.
Coach Thompson, wanted to take the time to thank you for what you've meant to this community. Not only the community, but the school, as an AD, as a football coach, but more importantly to me as a person. I played for you, and I don't know if you remember, but I actually quit the football team as a sophomore in between my sophomore and junior year. Had a tremendous change of heart, talked to you, you allowed me to come back, and I really believe that those next 2 years shaped who I am today. And I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart to give me that opportunity. Give me the opportunity here as a coach, being a tremendous athletic director. Don't know that we'll ever have one as good in the time that you spent in. Lincoln County thanks you. I personally thank you. The only regret I have is that my son will not play for you. But take the time, enjoy your retirement, save some of the birdies on the golf course and some of the turkeys in the woods for the rest of us. We love you here. Go Falcons.
Coach, Bob and I would like to thank you for all of the hard work and time and effort that you have put into the Falcon football program. We have certainly enjoyed it. The excitement, the thrills, the state championships, everything that made it Falcon football. Especially we'd like to say how much we enjoyed the Falcon Rock Cafe at the fair, the bus trips, especially to Prattville and to Neyland Stadium. That was a very exciting time. Bob particularly enjoyed the camp at Baylor. He enjoyed being with the coaches and with the boys. And we just wanted to say thank you again. Oh, I got something else I have to say. Behind every good coach, there is a good lady. And you are most fortunate to have had Peggy as your mate throughout the years. You could not have done better.
Coach Thompson has had some real good years. We went to Prattville, Alabama and beat them. We went to Knoxville Central and beat them. We came back and he won 2 state championships. The first one was in 1990. We beat the mighty Riverdale 20-7, and we also won a state championship in '93. Go Falcons.
Thanks for the memories. Go Falcons.
Louis Thompson, 24 years at Lincoln County High School, 22 years head coach. Time flies when you had fun, didn't it, Coach? Got a lot of memories, some highs, some lows, some sad, some funny, but I enjoyed all those Friday nights and appreciate what you and the coaches did to provide a lot of good entertainment for us. I'll mention a couple of things, not the obvious, you know, the state championships and the huge playoff wins. That would be already well documented, but your very first year, your very first game, when you come out with those red uniforms, you should have been up in the stands and heard some comments, and then some of them weren't too kind. Everything would have been okay, but you lost the game, Coach, 21-7. By the way, whatever happened to those uniforms? And another funny thing, 1989, first year here, remember you was looking for a home game, and some reason you came up with Jess Lanier out of Bessemer. And you must not have known nothing about them because their offensive line was bigger than the Green Bay Packers that year. And we done pretty good. We only lost 34-20. And the next year, you won the state championship in Tennessee, and Jess Lanier won the state championship in Alabama. Who would have thought it that night on a cold Friday night in Lincoln County? Good luck in the future. I consider you a friend. A lot of good memories. Best wishes. Go Falcons.
It was great getting to play for you. It was never easy. I think you had really high expectations for me. It made me a better football player out of it. It made me a better person. I learned a lot from you. One thing I guess I'll never forget is I think it was my sophomore year. We're under a tornado watch, I think, and they were letting everybody out of school. and they let everybody out, and we still had to have football practice. We went out and we're all complaining in the locker room and everything, and you come in there and you give us this big speech. You're like, guys, if you're gonna die today, you're gonna die today. There's no getting around that. So we're gonna go out there. We're gonna have a good 2-hour practice, and that's just gonna be the end of it. Now stop complaining. Let's get out there. And we went out there, and by God, I swear you must have talked to God or something, because there was no rain. There was just like a halo of sunlight right on the football field. And it didn't rain until after football practice, and then it poured. But I think I'll never forget that. That's one that's one speech I think I'll never forget you saying. But I really appreciate getting to play for my granddad, and it's one experience I'll never forget. And guys, what does Pops always say? Go Falcons!